My wife of 6 years is having an emotional affair with a coworker. What should I do? I have so many mixed feelings I don't even know where to start. Sorry if my writing comes through as a ramble. Up to this point, I thought that our relationship, even though it had its ups and downs, did not have any fundamental flaws, but now I have some serious doubts. She told me she just came to the realization a few weeks ago that she is having an emotional affair with her coworker, 45-yo divorced male. This is in itself absurd BTW, and that this is unacceptable and she has to stop. At first she was not sure if she should tell me. She thought maybe she was going to handle this by herself because she did not want to hurt me. But since she was behaving so differently, I confronted her, and then she opened up. I'm almost sure nothing physical has happened. They weren't even flirting. It was just a vibe that made both of them feel very understood, appreciated, and happy while being together. I know about a few occasions when they went out together after work, just to chat. They talked about it and they both have feelings towards each other, but agreed that this is not okay in this situation. She said she felt something that is on another level, something that she never got from me. I told her I want to see all their communications on Messenger, but this is not possible because she deleted it due to shame. I know this would be generally a red flag, but we both have above-average intelligence, are mentally stable, and 99% of the time we can work together and talk through issues. And so far I did not have any reason at all not to trust her. So I still do. We both know what would be ideal. If we want to fight and continue with our marriage, she has to change her job. But right now, due to the nature of her job, she is a teacher, and it is very hard to find a decent school here to teach at. She is very reluctant to do that. I know this is a bad idea generally, but she promised she will cut out any personal communication with him. The problem is that guy is sitting in the same office, and they inevitably meet every day. I told her she can try, but it is my gut feeling this is going to turn out to be a disaster, so I might give her an ultimatum later. I haven't decided yet, partly because first I have to put my mind straight about our marriage, if I actually want to continue it or not because of the affair, but because of the problems that surfaced. I think this affair is a symptom, not a problem. She said she has been looking for reasons why she married me in the first place, but right now she cannot see any good things. She only sees our differences. So the only reason she is staying with me right now is because she has made her vows, so she is going to keep herself to them, however much it hurts to see the prospect of another, better life in front of her. She is hoping that in time she will forget the feelings from this affair and relive the feelings she had with me back in the days. There must be something that brought us together, she said. This in itself sounds very mature and almost unbelievable to be true. I think she is thinking that way because she has some religious core beliefs and thinks that a marriage is sacred, and she loves me so much that I cannot comprehend. Yes, we were both definitely in love, but that in itself is not enough to keep the marriage together. But I'm wondering whether dedication, communication, and hard work added to the initial love is enough, or does it only work if you have matching personal traits and matching life goals? She said, I'm not putting enough emotional effort into our relationship. She feels alone, unappreciated, and a lot of times not being understood. This is the first time in our 9 years together that she openly said things like that, but she said she always felt somewhat this way. Her recent affair just made these feelings stronger. Partly I knew about this, but I did not think it was so bad. Or is it just exaggerated by her recent EA? But generally, I think this is not completely my fault, because I have an avoidant attachment type, and she has the anxious one, which combination, I recently learned, is not a good idea. She said she was not mature enough when she made her choice. She saw me as an introvert, but very intelligent man who would never be able to cheat on her. That's why she chose me, and because she did not want to be alone. She literally moved from her parents to my house, never lived alone and independently. I chose her because it felt so good that someone cares about me. I had quite low self-esteem back then due to social isolation. She did very, very good about caring for me in those 9 years of being together. I didn't notice any of her struggles. But she also said if she had to decide now, she definitely would not choose me. So now the question arises, are we fundamentally incompatible and made a bad choice 6 years ago? Or does this idea of a sacred marriage actually work in the long term? I guess a prerequisite for that would be that both parties believe in it, but I can't believe this 100% right now. I mean, we get along very good, as roommates with some extras. Sex has always been really good. But our personality is at least 80% different if you look at hobbies, interests, sense of humor, need for emotional support, spiritual views, me being an atheist, long-term plans, etc. She also said she is afraid I won't be a good father, so maybe she doesn't want babies for me at all, because I'm always alienated by babies. I mean, I'm sure I want kids, but the truth is I'm really afraid how we can handle the burdens and how I can support my wife during those hard days. I know I'm very vague emotionally, on the border of having Asperger's. That's something I just can't change. Imagine someone who is a lighter version of Sheldon Cooper. Now it's up to me to decide. She said she wants to live with me no matter what, but I don't want our relationship to be so single-sided. I think I love her, but for me, talking about my emotions and understanding them is very hard. The only way I can cry, for example, is listening to music. I think I owe this community that much, that I share my experiences and what happened to us. I can honestly say that most of the comments were excruciatingly painful to read at the time, but now I believe them to be mostly true. However, I must emphasize that I cannot agree with the mentality to dump anyone instantly. I wouldn't even call that a relationship if anything like that happens. People, please, you must always respect and value your partner to at least listen to their point and try understand them. My wife was courageous and honest enough to come up to me and discuss her feelings, and she did nothing inherently wrong. She did some small mistakes, but she showed respect and compassion all along. I tried to give her the same, and compared to the gravity of the situation, mostly we succeeded. We went through a 2.5-month emotional roller coaster, full of reflections and surprises about ourselves. A long journey for both of us, from denial to acceptance, evaluating our relationship to every last bit. We came to the conclusion that our current personalities, especially with our insecurities, make it impossible to continue a healthy relationship. In fact, it was never healthy. Yes, we were in love and being attracted to each other like magnets, but on the long term, she was with me with her fear of being alone and trying to be accepted. So she suppressed her own needs. For 10 years, she was unconsciously playing a role to fit me, and now she is burnt out. Her suppressed personality burst out like a bomb with this affair that she never looked for, but it found her. I, on the other hand, was with her because I relied on her emotionally, like a child relies on her mother. A totally codependent relationship where we lost our identities. I lost it so much that if I look into the mirror now, I really don't know what I need or want from life. Then, if you add the complexities of her feelings for this third person to these already huge problems, there is no way out of this together. We had a very deep level of intimacy and bond, both physically and mentally, to the last moments. We can talk about anything, and we are very stimulating to each other intellectually. And the chemistry is, oh my God. How many people have daily sex in a 10-year-old relationship? Only the emotional aspect was screwed up, but that one is currently beyond repair, especially given the fact that she is unable to let go of her affair partner. We created a lot of unforgettable memories and a magical place that we both call our home. We were very happy together, but she evolved, and now we must part ways. I hope that eventually we can learn to be friends at least, because I look at her as an absolutely precious human being. Who knows what life brings? Maybe we evolve further and find each other again. But now we must let go of each other. For me, this is very hard to accept. I'm so confused because I felt that I cannot possibly have a better relationship all along. I know her perspective is now different, but in those moments, she was also happy with me for 10 years. It was real at that time, and I still feel the possibility that in another life it could work. The level of attraction I described above, it's something magical, and it's still there. Even in her, I feel it. But as we can see, attraction, love, and chemistry is still not enough. You need compatibility as well. I'd lie if I said I'm not angry at her, because I feel deceived and betrayed. But at the same time, I know that she is a human being who inadvertently makes mistakes. We are still lucky to have figured this out without kids or anything holding us back from building a new life separately. This is a huge learning opportunity and chance for growth for both of us. Parting ways was a very special experience, like saying farewell to your best friend, celebrating a significant life event with those last moments, last supper with wife, last walk in the forest holding hands, last night in bed together. She made love with me and gave me the last goodbye kisses. Utterly surreal, heartfelt moments filled with tears of grief, nostalgia, reflection on the past, a peaceful, graceful period of a few days. I am very grateful that we could make this experience so special. I'm literally crying while writing this. It could only happen because for those moments we were able to put aside our anger, jealousy, resentment, and guilt, and we were able to offer some amount of comfort and support for each other. Of course, we will have to meet a lot of times, but just to organize our new life. From today, we live our life as single persons. Guys, anyone who is parting ways with their partner, I wish them the same. It couldn't be possibly better than this. I'm not saying our life will be easier from now on. I think it's quite the opposite. We must both find our own identity again, process all of our emotions, sort out financials, living arrangements, day after day, filled with grief and pain. I struggle with glimpses of hope and not being able to let go. She struggles with huge amounts of guilt. I can only hope that she manages to keep her emotional affair from escalating until the moment she is healed and ready, because I wish her the best and happiest life she could possibly have, and she does the same for me. If you listen to Miley Cyrus, Flowers, that's what I'm feeling nowadays.